Hey there everyone, Leprechaun here. Today I'm going to show you guys the basics of getting started here in the game Star Citizen. Right, so you've got the game, you just loaded it up and you want to figure out how to play it. Well, it's kind of difficult to just get started out and hop on a ship and go fly off into the sunset blasting bad guys. So let's go over some basics first. You're going to want to hit options just to get started, and you're going to want to get all your game settings set. Whether you've got a keyboard and mouse or whether you've got a joystick, you're going to want to set all of that up. Game settings how you want them, that's important. Graphics, well, you know what your computer can handle, so that's up to you. And then mainly, you're going to want to look under key bindings. And I would just recommend looking over all the key bindings and figuring out where all the stuff is. You've got flight, and you've also got your on foot as well. And those are going to be your two main ones that you've got to watch out for. Right, so now that you've got your settings all in pack and where you want them to be, we're going to go ahead and head into the persistent universe and figure out the basics from there. Star Marine is a first-person combat simulator, and Arena Commander is essentially an arcade version with a bunch of different categories of games you can play in a ship. And then Star Marine's the same thing, just in first-person mode without a ship. You know, it's just your character. Right, so today we're just going to go over the persistent universe. Right, so as soon as you click on the persistent universe, you're going to find two spaceports, Crusader and Area 18, and of course your Self-Land hangar. I'll make another video about the Self-Land hangar later on, but what we're going to be wanting to do is click on Crusader, because Area 18, as of right now, you're not able to spawn your ship in Area 18. So Crusader is where we want to go. And then you're going to want to pick your server based on, you know, where you are. Right, so now that we've got that figured out, let's go ahead and visit the spaceport. Please stand by for load time. Well, so much for load times. I just cut out that load time for you guys so you didn't have to wait through the bloody load screen. But yeah, the load screens in this game are pretty long, so don't be discouraged by them, it's normal. Right, so you spawn into a nice little hotel room, you look around, and there's not too much to do. Right, so first things first, the way to pull up your journal and your mission log is the F1 key. It took me forever to figure that out, but now that I have, hey, that's the first thing you want to do. You want to figure out, right here, this big box here is going to be a screen with all your missions, and then your completed missions are down here. Now you can just click on the mission, and it'll give you the description, and then if you click this little yellow hex, it'll go ahead and make that mission tracked, and it'll load up on your HUD, and it'll have a location for you. For example, I just clicked on that mission, and hey, off over in the distance, it points out report to probe. Right, so let's just select that mission. That's how you get started with the missions. Also, once you pull it up, to go backwards, hit the backspace. That brings you back to the main screen. Now, a lot of this stuff is still under construction, so it's not available yet. Don't worry about it. The only other thing that you can really access right now is how much cash you've got and your journal. Right now the journal doesn't have too much junk, but on your way you might pick up some holotapes, or sorry, not holotapes, but little data pads, and whatever you pick up will pop up here and you can look through them. Right, so backspace, and we'll hop out. That's called the mobiGlass. That is going to be your go-to thing. Right, okay, let's go ahead and show you guys how to spawn your ship. So the name of this port is Port Olisar. You always spawn in the same location here in the hab chambers, pretty much like a hotel. Pretty cool little place. So what you're going to want to do is always look for downstairs. That's where you want to go. Which should be deck 1. Right. And then there should be a main room with a bunch of tables all around it with some computer screens. Right, so you're going to want to walk up and you're going to want to press the access key. The access key is F. Yeah, I thought it was E for the longest time. Yeah, screws you up. Right, now depending on what ship you choose when you bought the game, whether it's the Mustang Alpha or the Aurora MR, then this is what you're going to choose. And you're going to click Request Ship. Right, and as soon as you request it, it's going to tell you which landing pads it's at, and it also will show up on your HUD. So right then and there, we're at D07, and it'll also show up on your HUD. There we go. CO Mustang Alpha. And since it was 07, we can look at the signs and be like, oh, we need to go this way. Right. And then also just follow the signs with the arrows. Can't get lost at all. Alright, now that we've got up to the airlock, let's go ahead and pop that button. Just press the F button, wait for it to open, and then we'll be out into space in no time. Because of course, that's the first thing everyone wants to do. I know, this was the first thing I wanted to do. I just wanted to get in my bloody ship and start figuring out how to fly. You know? Right, so our ship's a little bit elevated. So you're going to want to head to the right, still following the signs, because we're at 07. And hey, 07 and 08 up this way. There we go. And off to the left, there's my fancy ship. Now, on the Mustang Alpha, the way that you access getting into the ship, right next to the turret, underneath you'll see this little round disc, a hatch, and it'll have the highlighted use ladder. You press the F button, then you press the F button again, and it'll do a little mini cutscene where your character climbs up into the ladder, into the belly of the ship. Right, so now that we've done that, let's look over, and let's enter the pilot seat. Now it takes a few minutes for, sorry, not a few minutes, actually it's really only a few seconds, for the ship to come online, and for all the systems to, you know, load up properly. Right, so, right off the bat, this ship has the landing gear always deployed, so don't worry about trying to figure out how to undeploy your landing gear. So, first things first, let's go really slow. We'll go over the controls real quick, or you can go in your key bindings. Right, so to take off, let's go ahead and hit the space bar. That brings us straight up. Alright? The A key makes us strafe left. The D key makes us strafe right. The W key makes us go forward. And the S key, coupled with the alternate button, the left alt, makes us go backwards. So those are our main movements. And then also, left control goes down. Right, so let's go ahead and get out of the landing area and fly off a bit. So to disengage landing, you're going to press the N key, and that'll bring us up to full speed. There on the right hand screen where it says 200, that is our speed in meters per second. So we'll want to pay attention to that, just so that way you can know how fast you're going, because in space it's kind of hard to tell. Alright, so now that we're a bit of a distance away, Q will make you roll left, and E will make you roll right. Good stuff to know. Okay, so that's pretty much the basics for moving around. And of course, your mouse key will just make you move in whatever direction you want. Alright? Alright, now that we've got movement down, let's go ahead and go over a few basics of navigation. Now, you can't see any really blips off in the distance, any planets or any space stations you can fly off to yet, so you're going to want to press the B button. And that will pull up your quick travel screen, all the places you can go to. And all that you got to do is look at where you want to go, which in our case, hey, let's go ahead and pull up that mission that I was telling you guys about earlier. And I'll show you guys how to fly there. So we'll go to Repair Array 126. Right, so right off the bat, we should have a nice screen where it'll show us where to go. Alright, there we go. Nice blue triangle, pointing out our location right there. So, we just hit B, and then boom, hit the F button, and quantum travel engages. And that is how to fast travel, essentially. The fast travel of the game. Now, up there in the top screen where it says QF, that's how much fuel we have, called quantum fuel. Alright, it's important to keep track of, because if you run out of that, you'll get stranded and you won't be able to actually quantum travel anymore. Right, so now we've got an enemy. Perfect. Let's go ahead, we're already locked onto him. Up there in the top right hand screen, it shows us how far away he is, what kind of a ship he is, and also a couple other things about him. Right, so it's easy. Point and shoot, right? So, left click. That fires our main weapons. So we're going to want to aim for that little blue splotch right there, while avoiding his giant guns of death. So that's what we're going to do, and that is essentially how you dogfight in this game. Aim for the little blue dot, and you'll get hits. And hits are always good. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take down his shield. And then you're going to be taking down his actual ship himself and doing good damage. So you can see, every time we're hitting him, hey, we're doing some pretty decent damage. I think we've already got a shield down. Now this guy's a Gladius. So he's got quite a bit more weapons than we do, and he's a little bit more dangerous than your average ship. But that's okay, because you know what? We just blasted him right out of the sky. Now, on occasion, you might have a missile lock on you, which will pop up as a red lightning or a red fire. Now, in order to do that, right here on the right-hand screen, where we're cycling between the fire and the lightning, those are our countermeasures. So the fire is going to be our flare, and the lightning is going to be our chaff. And based on which missile we get fired at us is what we're going to want to drop for countermeasures. So, in order to use countermeasures, we press the G button to select between them, and switch between them. And then it's going to be the mouse button number 3. You can look at this under your key bindings, and you can change it to whatever you want, and press that. And boom, we've got a nice flare deployed now. There we go. So those are flares. The next thing is chaff. And they'll look something like this. There we go, nice fireworks display. Alright, so now we've got countermeasures figured out, so now you know what to do if you get a missile fired at you. Right. So now that we've got this mission, we'll go ahead and show you guys how to hop out of your ship now that you're in it. Now, when you're in space, you've got to keep in mind, there's no gravity, there's nothing to stop your ship. So before you hop out of your ship, make sure that you're properly stopped. I once made the mistake of hopping out of my ship while my ship was still moving, slow like this, only 11 meters per second. But believe me, if you get too far away from your ship, it can be a pain in the butt tracking down your ship. Right, so we've stopped now, killed the bad guys. Let's go ahead and turn this communications relay on. So we're going to hold the F button. It takes about 3 seconds, but that'll go ahead and do the animation where it turns your ship off and pops you on out the hatch. Right, then also what we got to do is got to look down the ladder and press the F button. And our character should hop right outside of the ship. Perfect. Alright, now we're in space. Isn't that cool? We're just floating around in a cool spacesuit. Oh, by the way, toggle the F4 button if you like to go in third person mode. Alright. You're just going to use the regular movement keys. And if you want to go a bit faster, use the shift button. Just be careful. Remember, you're in space. It's difficult to slow down. Slamming into objects is not a good way of getting around. Alright, and then space key to go up, just like in our ship. And control key to go down. Real easy to maneuver. It's nice how they've kept it where it's the same as the ship as when you're outside of your ship in your character. And then literally also what we got to do is just go ahead, come over here to the computer and put the power on. Hit the F button. There we go. The uplink is online now. And there we go. Easy alpha currency. Fantastic, eh? And you can use that currency to buy weapons, as well as the armor that I've got. I've got the heavy armor. I particularly enjoy it, you know, just because it's cool. It's all black. But hey, whatever you guys want to get is up to you. So that's pretty much the basics of going through missions. Just keep in mind that all of your starter ships, they're not too tough, not too dangerous against the enemy. So you'll definitely get good at practicing, and you're probably going to get blown up a couple times. Don't worry about it. Right. So I'm going to show you guys what happens when you get blown up. Now, when the game is finished, there's going to be what's called permadeath, where your character can die forever. And that's not good. But so far, you can just respawn as soon as you die. However, if you blow your ship up, that's a different story. I'll show you guys now. Let's see. Let's just fly into this space station as fast as we can. We'll get a nice wind up on it, eh? We'll just see how much that hurts. Alright, now we've got to... Let's go ahead and hit the afterburner with the shift key. And there we go. Slammed right into that space station. Blew ourselves up. And pretty much just laughing at you like, haha. You just got blown up, mate. Right. So, instantly, you're going to go right back to where you started when you entered the game world. Which is going to be your hab quarters. Or pretty much your hotel. And then you're just going to go straight back downstairs. And get into your ship the same way. Real quick, since we're in the persistent universe, I'm just going to go ahead and go over stores while I'm down there. Right, so hop out, and we'll just go downstairs. Remember, always go downstairs. Okay, here we are, back at the holotable. Just walk up to one of the computers, one that works, and there we go. We'll just use it. Alright, now, we have a countdown timer, and we've also got a number up here. What that means is, if you want to spawn your ship right now, without waiting, you've got to pay a premium, which is 1300 alpha currency. And this shows you how much you've got. Now, if you're just starting out, 1200's a lot. So I'd recommend just being patient and waiting for your ship to finish up that timer before you're actually spawning it. But that's up to you. Right, let's go ahead and check out some nice shops. So the first shop is going to be over, they're all on the corners, over by the windows. Do a little bit of exploration around the space station just to get to know it. This one is where you buy your weapons. Straightforward, just walk up to the weapon, use your mouse wheel to scroll up and down to look at it, and then also buy it. Not hard at all, and it tells you the price, as well as med pens if you need health. Right, so that's one shop. The next shop is going to be armor, which is right across from the weapons, which is where I got my sweet set of power, or I guess it's not power armor, but my spacesuit. And there she is, 20,000. And then there's a whole bunch of different suits of armor. Pretty expensive, but they're a great thing to save up for, especially, you know, as early as this game is. It's cool that they've got so much armor already. Cool spacesuits. Right, and there's one more store that's open right now. Later on, they'll be adding ship upgrades, but as of right now, Dumper's Depot is closed, so we can't get in there. But the other store that's open is, I don't know, I think it's kind of useless, but if you're into it, we've got regular clothing. We've got shoes, we've got shirts, we've got jackets, whatever you could need. Right, so that's the basics, guys. How to get your ship flying, how to start a mission. You know, the rest will come easy. I'll be coming out with more videos about Star Marine, the first-person shooter, as well as Arena Commander, and all the things you can do in that one. So stay tuned, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this gives you guys a bit better of a start than I was when I started. Mine was really rocky. But yeah, guys, cheers. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.